This is Situational Leadership by Jeremy Millsap. So when I first did this study, I came back as a democratic leader. I do feel like that would reflect my personal experience working in groups and communities. I tend to like to receive input from other people, especially when I'm not the most knowledgeable person in that group, and I'm trying to develop a plan, and I don't want to feel like I'm micromanaging. But that is not how I want to lead in a PLC setting. PLC setting, I would want to have more of a situational leadership style, because you'd have a lot of teachers first coming into the profession, a lot of 23 and 24-year-olds, many of whom who've never managed a classroom before. And in my personal experience, having worked as a substitute, managing students is actually harder than managing teachers. So this is a quote from Hershey and Blanchard. As the maturity of their followers continues to increase in terms of accomplishing a specific task, leaders should begin to reduce their task behavior and increase relationship behavior until the individual or group reaches a moderate level of maturity. So I feel like that kind of reflects situational leadership, the importance of moving people along until everyone has a base level of competence and understanding. So what influenced my decision? First was academic research, supporting my personal experiences in academia and the workforce. I like the Hershey-Blanchard model of situational leadership. There's telling, selling, participative, and delegation. Kind of move from high direction to low direction, and from more monitoring to less monitoring. And I think that you can incorporate that into a PLC setting, because you could have people who are more in the delegation stage helping people who are in the telling stage, or even in the selling stage, as they kind of move along that process. So obviously it is different. The democratic setting, the democratic leadership style is different than the situational leadership style that I decided to go with. And I don't think I would go with the democratic leadership style unless I was in a PLC where everyone had several years of teaching experience and were meeting their meeting all the metrics. So these are some of the cons to situational leadership. It can be difficult to measure results. It can be difficult to design individual plans for each person. It can cause confusion among PLC members who may not know what to expect. And to astute teachers, it can be viewed as coercive or inauthentic. So, obviously, there you have, it's probably the most difficult of all the leadership styles, situational leadership. And people can kind of see through you, like if they feel like you're treating them differently, that can build resentment or even some animosity among groups. So some of the pros, different types of leaders, of learners in different types of leadership. Uniform leadership style can result in some teachers not being challenged and others feeling micromanaged. Situational leadership is beneficial when you're dealing with different personalities and genders. It frees up time by allowing teachers who will need litter monitoring to self-manage and provide support for teachers who are struggling. So, kind of going back to that same point, you want to have teachers work like teachers with years of experience, working with teachers with not a lot of experience. And a lot of times teachers with a lot of experience can feel micromanaged if you're treating them the exact same as a teacher who's just coming out of college. So I was trying to set up a PLC meeting. Basically where it started is, where does everyone want to be at the end of the year? What does everyone need help with? And how can we help those who are struggling learn from those who are successful? So basically I'd kind of go around, I'd do introductions, I'd be like, okay, how long have you been teaching? How long have you been working with students? What do you know about your subject matter? Is there anything that you feel like you need help with? And where do we want your test scores to be at the end of the year? Where do we want your performance metrics to be at the end of the year? And how can we help you get there? These are a couple of my appendix sources. Mastering Situational Leadership Using Cinema. That's basically an article about how they trained flight crews in World War II. Negatives of situational leadership style. That was just like an article basically talking about how sometimes people can see through your agenda, and you need to, I guess, overcome that. Strengths and weaknesses of situational leadership management style. That's where I got a lot of the pros. Situational leadership. Just talking about how everyone's different. People learn differently. People act differently. and situational leadership theory attests from three perspectives. Yeah, that's just an article I read that basically talked a lot about the Hershey model, essentially. So yeah, that's my presentation. Thank you.